Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Buckeye Mike. Tonight we're doing USFL Weekly here on Buckeye Mike channel. And you may see by the picture on screen here that tonight we're going to talk about some big news with the player on screen, and we're going to give our first 2023 season preview for a team, and we have selected to do the awesome New Orleans Breakers first. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into this puppy. So Case Cookus is coming back to the USFL for 2023. This is a great season, or this is a great signing by Philly. This is a great move by Case. I love this move. He balled out once Brian Scott went down. He's an awesome player. He has a lot of heart and effort and is a heck of a QB for sure. This move by Cookus was not only helpful to Philly, but also to himself as he can continue to develop as a player and continue to grow. So I definitely like this move. Definitely approve. Good move here. All right. So let's talk now about New Orleans. New Orleans hired John DeFilippo to be the new head coach all the way back on November 10th, 2022. Great move by New Orleans because John is a great coach. I like what he does. I like his system. I like everything about John because John is just a great coach overall. So I hope that this continues to make New Orleans a threat. New Orleans was a threat last year because they made it all the way to the playoffs and were eventually booted by the eventual USFL champion Birmingham Stallions. So they brought in John DeFilippo, see if he can help them get over the little hump that they have to get over. And I think he can really help them get over the hump. I really wouldn't be surprised if New Orleans wins the championship this year. They are definitely a dangerous team for sure. This is what their helmet looks like from both sides. I like the design 100%. Great design here. There's their logo and their schedule. So week 1, they face the Pittsburgh Maulers. Week 2, they face Houston at home, the Houston Gamblers. Week 3, they go to Birmingham, which not really going to Birmingham because they're playing in Birmingham. They ended up with the Birmingham hub, which is good for them based on where that is compared to New Orleans. Then they're at New Jersey, so they'll be up here at Canton. Then they go back home to play Memphis. Then they're back up this way, but in Detroit to play Philly at Philly. Back to Birmingham to play Birmingham, and then play Michigan at home. And then they go 2 weeks in a row to Memphis to take on both of the Memphis hub teams, the Memphis Showboats and the Houston Gamblers. I think this is a tough schedule. I could see New Orleans realistically with 2, maybe 3 losses here. Tough to say where they would be. I definitely think 8-2. I think they finished 8-2 last year. So another 8-2 finish is definitely good for the organization. And an 8-2 finish would be great for head coach John DeFilippo in his first season. I mean, yes, everybody wants to strive for the 10-0 regular season, 9-1 regular season. That's better. Yes, of course that's better, but we have to set our expectations at a certain point so that it's not outlandishly outrageous. I love you, ref, over at USFL Newsroom and the USFL General Discord on the Pro Football News Discord. But I'm sorry, the Gamblers are not going 12-0 and winning the chip. I'm sorry, ref. But there's just no way. So this is their schedule. If I had to predict right now, I would say lose to Pittsburgh because I like Pittsburgh. And that's fine because you only play Pittsburgh once this year. Beat Houston. Beat Birmingham at Birmingham. Beat New Jersey at Canton. All right. So you're at 3-1 right now off the bat for 4 weeks. Actually, yeah. So through 5 weeks, in my opinion, you'd be 4-1 with a loss to Pittsburgh. Okay. And then you play Philly at Ford Field in Michigan because that's where their hub is. That, in my opinion, is going to be a loss. Okay. So you lose to the two teams that you play once. So that's 2 losses. So already the best you can do is finish 8-2. And here's why I say you finish 7-3, because you'll get Birmingham again, beat them. Michigan, if it's any resemblance to the Michigan team that we had last year, then it could be that Michigan isn't very good. So Michigan, in my opinion, currently is a win for New Orleans. And then you have at Memphis in the hub of Memphis, Tennessee, back-to-back. Memphis Showboats, Houston Gamblers. You're going to win both of those. Actually, no, you're going to lose the one to Memphis. You're going to lose a Memphis game and the 2 single games that you play. 2 of the 3 single games that you play, which is Michigan, Philly, and Pittsburgh. You're going to lose to Philly and Pittsburgh, and you're going to lose a Memphis game. Now, it's all a matter of key if does Birmingham come back just as strong or stronger this year as they did last year. If we see Birmingham get out to this crazy start like they did at like 6-0, 7-0 before they lost a game, then of course it's just going to be a repeat and just pray that someone can stop them in the playoffs. But right now, I see 7-3, and that's where I see it. My mind could change for certain, definitely could, but we'll have to revisit this as the season goes on and as we approach kickoff. So I want to talk to you guys now about some of the major key signings here that New Orleans has brought in, starting with Salesi Uhatafe. He signed with New Orleans back on January 31st, 2023. He's going to be a key piece here because he's a lineman. You definitely need more power on the line to keep the quarterback upright. So that's going to be a key piece here for certain. I like this signing because he played very well at Utah. He was really great and part of a line that didn't really give up much. All right. Then whoops, I forgot to put it in here. Saquon Hampton actually signed with New Orleans on, I believe it was February 11th. This is a good signing because he's a really good defensive back, and you need depth and speed in the secondary, and this signing, Saquon Hampton, definitely gives you that for sure. Absolutely 100%. He does. So I do like this signing. Plus, he does have the NFL experience, which definitely will help him in the long run for sure. This is really good in my eyes because of all the experience and depth that he will bring and speed that he will bring to the secondary for New Orleans. Next big signing was Hergy Mayala on February 15th. Perfect. This dude is a wonderful, great wide receiver. They're plucking him from the CFL as a good move. Definitely will show that you have reach for certain to be able to bring in from not only the people that didn't make it in the NFL, but people that want to try to get to the NFL and are in these other leagues like the CFL, the XFL, Major League Football, etc., etc. So this will definitely give you a lot of wide receiver speed. I like this for that specific reason. He's got great hands, big. What's up, man? He's big route runner, great hands, perfect match for New Orleans. Definitely something that they could use. Will eventually be a good key piece for them, I hope. Look for him to get a lot of targets, a lot of catches, and hopefully he'd be dancing in the end zone a lot this year. So you got a lot of potential with Hergy here. All right, the next big signing, in my opinion, is Richard Sindani. He signed with New Orleans also on February 15th, and he also was pulled from the CFL. This is yet another big signing because you got another great receiver here. More power, more depth at the receiver position, and definitely bringing in key pieces that you're going to need if you want to make it back to the playoffs, New Orleans, and actually turn around and beat a team like Birmingham. I like what New Orleans is doing here as we go further along here, and I talk a little bit more about the other key signings here so far. That I like what they're building and what they're doing here. John DeFilippo, in my opinion, currently is building a great team that can contend for a USFL championship. So I just wanted to put that out there. And let's continue to chug along here as we don't have too many left. We got Sage Surratt, who signed with New Orleans also on February 15th. This is the last February 15th signing, I believe, for New Orleans. They hit a banger, an absolute banger on February 15th with 3 great key signings here. Their off-season pickups, if you go look and go online and look at their pickups and the signings that they've made, they have made great pickups in the offseason for the slight improvements that they need to contest. Absolutely. Sage Surratt here. Great speed and great route runner. Good hands and will definitely help where it's needed. So look for these 3 to get a lot of targets and hopefully a lot of helping with putting dubs up on the board again this year. All right. And now in the backfield, we had Pete Guerrero signing with New Orleans on February 10th. Pete Guerrero, I think, is a good pickup here. Speedy back, great hands, and definitely can run routes for certain. And he's a monster in open space. So if they can get him a crease and a little hole that he can squeeze through and get him to open space, as my family likes to say, he's going to be a little bugger and really hard to bring down. I do really, really like this signing because, again, more depth and a lot of speed in places that you are definitely going to need it for certain. So without a shadow of a doubt, this is definitely a good pickup here. I love, love, love this signing. Yet again, another absolute banger of a signing. Great, great signing here. All right. Wes Hill, another running back to add to the running back room and depth. He signed with New Orleans on February 17th. Just like Guerrero, Wes Hill is a great back for the same exact reasons. I love it because it adds depth. Yet another great move. A banger, absolute banger of a signing that's great overall for New Orleans. Again, I cannot say it enough. I absolutely love the moves that the New Orleans Breakers are making right now, just so that we have good football in Birmingham from the New Orleans Breakers. This is great. This is awesome. This is wonderful. I love it, love it, love it. Absolutely love it, New Orleans. Keep up the good work. Keep bringing in the major signings, key pieces here. And you made some wonderful moves in the USFL draft today. That's awesome. I love everything you did. Eventually, I do want to kind of go over that in maybe a USFL Weekly bonus show. Just kind of touch on each team's draft picks. I think once we start to get more signings, I definitely will for sure do that. But yes, Wes Hill signing with New Orleans. Double thumbs up, baby. I love the signing. And that will do it here for the signings and discussion on New Orleans Breakers. I didn't expect it to be this short. I would have probably just made this a video, but it is longer than 10 minutes, so that's good for a live. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Again, apologies for a short USFL Weekly here. Tune in tomorrow night as we will do XFL Weekly. We will preview week 2. We will recap week 1, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts, my opinions on week 1, what I look forward to in week 2. Hopefully we continue to get some decent to great football in the XFL. I hope the rumors that the XFL is starting to collapse is not true. So keep it up. Stay tuned here at Buckeye Mike, and I will see you next time. I appreciate everyone stopping in. Everyone have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.